All right, and good morning there. Let's see. What I can do is talk to you for about 15 minutes here on the YouTube, but basically, I don't have 15 minutes worth of stuff to say, I don't think, this morning. Oh, if I move like that, I'm not in the right part of the picture anymore. But never worry. There, I can go like that. I can go like this. I can go like that. Go like this. And you can see me okay if I don't move too much. Let's see, I need to if I move back over here. Oh, it's the wrong way. This way. I gotta move further that way. Okay, so I'll wander in and out of the picture here. So, or what I can do is I can hit this negative button and it'll make me smaller. Oh. I wish I could do that in real life. No, I don't want to be smaller. I just want to be less heavy. Okay, so this morning you're looking at me at 301 pounds. So, and for those of you who wonder how I sleep, last night watching not Johnny Carson, David Letterman, I watched his first guest for a while, and I remember I didn't stay up for whatever his musical guest was. So I guess I was probably in bed for sure before 11:30 I was in bed, and probably about 11 o'clock I was in bed. Off to sleepland. Then this morning, up at 9 a.m. So that was a nice long time in bed. Not exactly sure how much sleep I got. That's a different thing to measure. Is sometimes you lay in bed and you get that phase 1, phase 2 sleep, whatever. Sometimes you get that REM sleep, sometimes you don't. And I had remembered to take my shaky leg medicine last night, so my legs didn't shake and wake me up. But all in all, I think I had a good night's sleep. But yesterday was a busy day. I'd gone down to the Loop, visited, had a nice little seminar, 2-hour seminar on starting a small business in the state of Illinois. And of course going through all the different things that the state requires of people doing that in a proper manner. And moving on, let's see, 301 pounds, we said that. Oh, let's see if I can give you a full, whoops, there's the big guy. Let's see, I move back over here, take a while for the camera to catch up with me. And let's see what we can do here. Okay, that's the best it's going to do. There we are. There's me. Still a big old belly here, but not as big as it was. Getting smaller, moving around a little better. Did some exercise here, jumping jacks. Whoops. I mean, not too good for jumping. Okay, that's scary. All right. So now we'll go back over, sit down in the chair, Maxley. Sit down in the chair and zoom back in on me a little. Oops. Never know. Was that Bonanza? What was that singing? Okay, so the preview window in this capture that I'm using this morning kind of makes me chop all up, and I think I'm looking funny, but I think when I make the movie it'll look good. And let's see what we got here. Matthew 4. Matthew 4. No, I have read that. Oh, a few verses as I've read the first 4 chapters of Matthew that are things that have been struck me as I read them. John the Baptist, when the Jewish leaders came to him to be baptized, says no, that's not the way it works. You can't just come here and be baptized and you're automatically taken care of, sort of thing. Says God can make children for Abraham out of these stones. Here it is. So right there. And then in verse 15, that was Matthew 3:9. Go and read that for yourselves. Sometimes I say things and it's the way it hits my mind. Might not hit your mind quite the same way. And then 15, this is Jesus when he's goes to John to be baptized. We do well to conform all that God requires. So, don't understand all the laws of baptism at that point, but apparently that was God wanted people to be baptized back then. And then chapter 4, verse 17, as you know, John had been in a little bit of a battle with the king there in the area, and the king had married a woman he wasn't supposed to be messing around with, and John says, nah, he's not supposed to be doing that, and so they took him off, and the queen didn't like him either, and eventually the queen had him beheaded, but at this point he's just in prison. And John had been, Matthew says, going around with the message, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is upon you. And that's a small k there. Somehow that small k is important. There are places in the Bible you'll find a capital K. And so if you do a study on kingdom sometime, you'll want to look at that. So the kingdom of heaven is upon you. The small k. And in 4:17, while John is in prison, Jesus takes up the same message. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is upon you. So that was an important message that he brought at that time. Why is it important? It's important because it's Jesus doing it. That's why it's important. Okay. Then there's now some of you understand that I've been going to Willow Creek Community Church for a while, and that I'm a member of Willow Creek Community Church now. And Willow Creek's been an Acts 2 church. Now, Acts 2, actually, this is one of the nice things about the Bible that I like, is that you can read a small part of it, and from that small part you can get the idea that is the basis for how to treat other human beings and how to treat all of your life, really. And so if someone looks at Acts 2 and they really take to heart what Acts 2 says, then likely that would be enough to go forth. Somebody could take the Beatitudes and look at the Beatitudes in their heart, and because God has written on our heart what is right. And it's not in the mental gymnastics that we do of going, oh, well, you know, if I give my brother a loaf of bread, then I won't have a loaf of bread. One of the hardest stories for me, and also the most entertaining in my mind, is that the prophet goes to a woman, and the woman, he says, "What are you doing, woman?" She's out collecting up dung to burn in a fire. And she says, well, you know, my son and I, we're down to our last little bit of oil and our last little bit of flour, and what I'm doing out here is I'm collecting this dung to make a fire, and I'm going to go home, I'm going to mix that oil and that flour, and I'm going to make a few small biscuits for us, and we're going to eat those, and then we're going to lay down and die. And the prophet says, well, sounds like a good plan, you know, but before you do that, make me a biscuit, will you? So the woman's, that's her last biscuits. She or her son one's not going to end up without a biscuit. But the prophet says, give it to him, and so he does. And a similar story, I think the story of Hanukkah, and the people in the Jewish faith celebrate Hanukkah, and that's about the oil not going out in the lamp. So it's a very similar type of story. But so she did that, and she still had enough. So somehow that's where we have to go, is we have to understand how to give away all that we have and still have enough. And I'm afraid sometimes that means reminding other people not to be the banks. Where's that story? I wrote that down. Oh, here it is. It's Matthew 18:25, where this guy goes and he has millions forgiven. Remember the banks? Millions forgiven, billions forgiven. And then about 28, a few pounds somebody owes the bank guy, and he doesn't forgive him and has him thrown in prison. And then no, I'm not supposed to do that. So he gets punished, but there's supposed to be a forgiveness of debt at some point. That's a complete study, but somewhere. But basically the idea is that you're not supposed to just hold people down with debt. And woe to the man that tramples on the poor, type of thing. But I'm doing a lot of Buddhas today, huh? Okay, so I need to finish this up. I'm about to hit the end here. So probably not going to make it. Matthew 25, 24? Yeah, you guys look at Matthew 25. Okay, that was Up. It didn't stop it. Okay, I'm going to stop it. We'll see. God bless you. Have a great day.